How's everybody doing? Is everybody stressed out? Everybody a little bit stressed out like I am? Yeah, being on Earth right now, I was gonna say social media, but being on Earth right now is pretty hard. I have had anxiety and it has manifested as picking. Like, is this a bad out of control breakout? No, it's not. I have had bad out of control breakouts. This is me being my own worst enemy. This is me having no impulse control because it's some kind of, you know, ADHD. Someone called it almost like a stimming thing. You know what I mean? It's like trying to kind of have control and get a little rush of dopamine or whatever. And like, this is what I end up with, and it all turns into dark spots, etc. So I thought that I would share with y'all today my process, not just for like getting the most no makeup look ever. Like, it actually probably will look like I'm not wearing makeup, but like covering all of this. And then I'm also going to share with y'all the process that I use to make sure that it doesn't get out of control, because it can get out of control. And I have been up against this issue my entire life, and I have come down to a few products and a few habits that actually make a difference in accelerating the healing process and mitigating it getting worse. So I just want to say before we jump in, there's nothing wrong with wearing your acne proudly. I do it all the time, but covering my acne makes me less likely to pick it throughout the day because I do work from home, and it's like the mirror is just magnetic. My face is here before I know it. I'm just like, ugh. You know, covering it is actually like healthy for me because it takes it off my mind. So if you're like me and you might benefit from this, let's go ahead and jump in. All right, so the only thing I have on my skin right now is the First Aid Beauty Ultra Repair Cream. That stuff is just medicine for me. It's not my be-all end-all moisturizer. It just makes things chill out, calm down, and keeps me from getting perioral dermatitis, which on top of what's already happening, might just push me past the brink, you know what I mean? Normally, when I am talking about healthy looking skin on me, I'm usually complaining that my skin is too dry, but in this case, it's not one of those like, oh, Stridex, remove all the oil from your skin, things that we were trying to as teenage millennials. It's more about the makeup gripping, because we're going to put so few products on that I want them to not slip around, slide around, and like fall off of the acne. And so in this case, I'm gonna use something like this. I mean, you could use anything that I feel like is a little bit mattifying, but so many SPFs are so dewy. I get that complaint in my comments all the time. This one's not. So this is the one, SPF 50 Invisible Sunscreen Gel from Allies of Skin. You're gonna notice some expensive products. Like the skincare in this is gonna be a little expensive because this is a case where, to me, every product counts. I want to know what the moving parts are, know where the side effects are, and so that's how I have distilled it down to the products that work well for me in this case, is because I have found the ones that work and don't do anything bad by not piling things on my face and getting all of the results confused. This stuff is wild. I think it's so much better than the Unseen sunscreen. The Unseen sunscreen really bugs my skin. This does not. And I will say, I'm not going to put coverage on my whole face. I am going to leave my skin bare for the most part, with the exception of obviously the sunscreen. But if you are someone who does want to start off with a little bit more coverage, just in general, just like evening everything out, where is she? I think she's downstairs. I was like taking pictures with it. But I cannot say enough about the actual skincare benefits of the Lisa Eldridge Skin Tint. It has, I think it has salicylic acid in it and a couple of other really great ingredients that actually make your skin better for wearing it. This is an old, I mean, I shouldn't call it a trick because I'm just putting on lip prep, but it does have the benefit, like putting a glossy clear lip on when you're trying to do like no makeup coverage on acne or whatever. Things become kind of more natural looking because they're dewy by association. I've been saying this since the Glossier days. And so I always like to keep the makeup off the telltale spots, which are right around my lips. Like, you're gonna see a line of demarcation if I have makeup right up to my lip line. And then I keep it off of my under eyes too. It's really very personal. Some people like must cover their under eyes in order to like feel human, and I totally understand that. But for me, it's like making my lips look like, oh, this old thing, and like leaving the makeup off my under eyes makes all the difference in the world. Oh, I'm so itchy. Ah! The healing acne also itches so freaking bad. Oh my God. And the Ultra Repair Cream does help with that. So anyway, you can see my skin is not dewy. My skin is going to grip the makeup. And the first product that we're going to go in with is, you guessed it, the Essential High Coverage Liquid Concealer from Jouer. This is something that kind of came back into rotation last year because my skin was so bad. I was on I am still on Wellbutrin, and Wellbutrin really increases sebum production on me. Doesn't do it to everybody, but it really did it badly for me, and not just on my face, on my back and my chest too. And so I was battling like a systemic trigger for acne, and so I had to get on spironolactone, which I'm still on in order to keep my skin clear. So that was why it was so bad. Plus, I also had perioral dermatitis. It was gnarly. That's when I discovered this. So I have this in the shade Creme. They sent this to me, I think. And as soon as I tried it, I was like, oh, wait a darn second. Like, not only does this actually have a ton of coverage, but also when you get it on, especially if you've done what I just did with the sunscreen where it's not super dewy, it sticks and it looks like skin. So you really, yeah, jerk. You really put it just where the acne is, old school style. And you can use a sponge. I have been lately using a brush for this just because I feel like a synthetic brush doesn't take quite as much product off as it's working. So this is one from Hourglass. It doesn't have like a label on it or anything, but I find that because it's synthetic, it doesn't really pick much product up. It doesn't like move it around very much. I forgot that spot right there. And that means that I don't have to go keep piling it back on, which can make you have that like hilarious, not hilarious at all, ridge of makeup around the blemish, but then the top is just bald. Look at that cover. Blend better than I did in this video. I just went and got a new eyeglasses prescription yesterday because my eyesight is not good. And I also need to clean my mirror. So I was like, everything looks good. And then afterwards I was like, I could have blended a lot better, because like today I did the exact same makeup and I put a little bit more effort into blending, and let me tell you, it makes all the difference in the world. Good grief. And obviously, maybe not obviously, but in this case, it's important that this is a good complexion match, not like a brightening match, because brightening is going to look right. We're trying to trick the eye here. And if you do want things dewy at the end, you can always hit it with like a dewy setting mist or something, because as long as you've got a product that makes a priority of like staying and oil control and all of that, or whatever, you know, you might need for acne, as long as that product is doing its job, whatever you spray over the top of it, you know, within reason, is probably going to just alter the finish. It's not really going to alter the performance of the makeup that much. So you can see I still, since I got close right there, you can still see a little bit of like a lip line, and that's where you can start to see, oh, that's makeup. Again, makeup's not a crime. Looking like you're wearing makeup is not a crime, but we are trying to have a bit of an illusion today. So I'm just gonna like wipe it off right there. And see, I look like I just woke up with good skin, which, now obviously this comes to mind. This is the new Lisa Eldridge Pinpoint Concealer Pencil. And like, this is also a fantastic option for coverage, you know, if what you want is to just lay it directly on the skin like that. If you have anything that you kind of want to patch and match, as it were. But I did get a lot out of the Jouer in this case. So put a little bit, it's like shining weird right here. A little bit there. But I think that the entire point of this pencil, so to speak, is that it is a luxury. You know, it's a luxury to have something in this specific delivery system. It's not supposed to be something that's like, if you don't have this, you can never do your makeup again, or like if you don't have this, like your makeup's never gonna look good. It's really about convenience. It's a luxury. So we still got freckles, we still got under eye situation going on. Like, I still kind of look like I just woke up, and I don't mind that at all. So next, I do just want to do some blush, and I want it to be something weird. You know, I don't want to commit one way or the other in terms of like working against my undertones. I kind of just want it to look like what would happen naturally. You guessed it, it's this little weirdo here, Bespoke. She's so cool. This is the weirdest color, and this is from Merit, and it's like they just said, I don't know, do all of it all at once and then desaturate the heck out of it, because it's just this like, yeah, it's cool toned for sure, but it's just muddy. Like, it's muddy in the best way possible for those of us who, like, again, on a no makeup face, it is nice to have something that's pre-muddy so that you're not like layering a bunch of things, but also it's totally translucent, so I think anyone could wear it. So anyway, I'm just gonna bloop, bloop. I don't have any makeup on my cheeks, you know what I mean? So boop, boop, boop. Do that. This is a Singe Beauty F06. Great for this kind of thing. And this can be very imprecise. I'm just trying to get something that looks natural. And with me, if I were in the sun or something, like I'm gonna get a lot of sun like right there. Right there being underneath my eyes. So we don't have any concealer there, but like that sun is gonna hit right there. Give me a little bit of a sunburn moment. It goes really, really believably with my freckles. And then I can even just take a little bit right here. You don't have to do that, but like that's where I would naturally turn a little bit rosy in the sun. And that's also where I have pigmentation and freckles and stuff. So anywhere that, boop, down this way, that's where the sun would naturally hit me. And so that's where we're putting a little bit of this color. This is really like Fjord's Cheeks. So hard, so hard. Like it really just looks like I took a lap. Blush! And I swear, even though the lights are, even though the lights are on me and that doesn't really look like much on camera, it looks really believable in person. Like you almost don't know I'm wearing makeup. And then I just like to groom my brows. In this case, if I put on a tinted brow gel right now, it's game over. It's gonna be so obvious. Again, we're not trying to like fool people, but the object of the game here is for your whole face to exercise the same level of restraint. That's when the eye believes what it's looking at, is when nothing really sticks out in a super noticeable way. And so if I put a dark brow gel on right now, you would like see my eyebrows first. So I'm just using a clear brow gel. This one's from Coolfy. And that's it. I put on a little bit of lip gloss, like I said, and that was the Thrive lip gloss, and I could just keep, you know, reapplying or whatever. But the point is I'm working with my contrast and I'm working with my undertones so that everything looks like it would naturally occur there. If I had put on contour, I would have had to bring everything else up to that level of contrast, because that's what contour does. It increases contrast. If I had put on a lighter color concealer than my skin, I would have increased my contrast and I would have had to bring more makeup into the equation to match that. So we're trying to keep as many natural colors on my face as possible with anything that we need to doctor, essentially. Like if I want to fix something, I'm going to keep the skin tone, the cheeks, the cheek tone, the brows, the brow tone. You know what I mean? Just obey whatever your skin looks like and go with that. Don't try and take any liberties. And sometimes that really requires a little bit of like noodling, because we don't often exercise a lot of restraint in our everyday makeup because it's fun. It's fun to kind of like get a little bit more creative. This is like creative problem solving, not creative artistry. So that's 3 products and out the door. 4 really if you count the lip balm. But I'm reapplying that throughout the day. So now I want to talk about what I do right after I've picked. First things first, if I have picked and I have someplace I need to be, like on camera, I don't usually have anywhere I need to be, but if I need to be on camera, I take an Advil. You don't have to take an Advil, but it's like obviously an anti-inflammatory or whatever, and I don't do that all the time. I always make sure I have food on my stomach, blah, blah, blah. I'm not telling you to take medicine. Please do not sue me. But I saw it in an article somewhere. They were like, this is what to do if you picked. One of them is actually like, even if you're not going anywhere, they told me to ice it. Like ice a zit. Oh my God, it actually really makes a huge difference to ice something right after you've mashed it. And because it just like apparently stops the, I don't know, the bacteria from like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not a scientist, but that was sort of what they said. And that's why probiotics are really cool too. Probiotic skincare, those kinds of things, like those are always going to work like with your skin. But I take an Advil, sometimes I will ice the spot. And the other thing that I love to use is my LED mask from Current Body. It's plugged in my room, but that thing is just like, it's forgiveness. It's incredible. And the new one that they did, it's stronger, and it's like stronger than anything else on the market in terms of red light therapy. So it really heals things, but it's also so much more comfortable. It actually has a piece that does have light underneath the chin, which is cool. It's not just kind of that flat piece. And then the Velcros are like head shaped. And so you can, you know, like you would if you just got like your wisdom teeth out. That's what it reminds me of when I do it. It always feels like that thing you put on when you've got your, you know, jaw swollen. But yeah, it's 10 minutes and I feel like I notice a huge difference when I do it. It's like I look forward to it knowing that like whatever damage I've done to my face, there's always a little bit of forgiveness to be had in that thing. So I rely on it probably a little too heavily. But the skincare I want to talk about now, again, it is when every product counts. You do not need to buy any of these products. You definitely do not need to buy all of these products. I don't often use more than 2 of these at a time. Like I said, I like to isolate my results, and I also know that my skin, if I push it too far, I will start getting dermatitis. And so I try to, again, exercise a lot of restraint here. We'll go in order of gentleness to strength. So talking about probiotics, this stuff's amazing. You don't need as much as I was using. You can spray like 1 time on your face. and it'll be fine. I was going absolutely nuts and I went through it really fast the last time. So this is the Molecular Savior Probiotic Treatment Mist from Allies of Skin. It's great. It's just great stuff. If y'all remember back in the day, Mother Dirt, still can't find Mother Dirt. That stuff was incredible. It was like live microbiome loving kumbaya bacteria that you could put on your face. And it helped so much with like bacterial acne and also like your armpits smelling or you think you're starting to get a yeast infection. That stuff was incredible. I don't know why they got rid of it. But anyway, this is not claiming to have like live things in it. You don't have to refrigerate it or something, but it's still really, really awesome. And it's really pretty on the skin. Mother Dirt was literally just water. I wouldn't have like set my makeup with it. I could spray this on my face throughout the day. Next, gentle, yes. Ineffective, no. I think that this is maybe the what would you say? Like the collision, the confluence, it is the intersection point of being the most effective and the most gentle at the same time. And this is the Multi-Peptides and Growth Factor Advanced Lifting Serum from Allies of Skin. Allies of Skin, they are incredible about making each product have such a specific purpose. Like they don't have products that are just like, oh, this is a vitamin C or oh, this is just a hyaluronic acid. They're like, you probably only need one or at least one at a time. Like they each have such specific purposes that they knock like 5 other products out of your routine. And Growth Factor is, again, it's like almost intelligence that's built in that's like helping your skin on a lot of levels. And so it says addressing signs of aging, including wrinkles and sagginess while restoring the look of visibly lifted and tightened skin with this advanced lifting serum. I think it does more than that. I think it actually like heals my skin in a lot of ways. It just feels like it's giving my skin a jump start. But all that said, this does combine really well with everything. It's not really, really active. It's not doing anything peeling or irritating on the skin, which is also why it's so ideal. It's just so great. And so I will use this a lot of times in conjunction with something that's a little bit stronger. Next, this is kind of like my second strongest product in terms of all of the actives that I want to use when I have an active breakout. I want things that are going to clear the breakout without purging my skin more. And it's really like threading the needle to do that because anything with retinol is not going to work. It's going to do too much for me. It might work for one night, but the effects last so much longer than one night that I feel like it can sometimes interact with the effects of whatever skincare I use for the next few days and like it can make it worse. So I don't know, retinol and me, I love the effects of it, but it's often not worth the irritation. So this is bakuchiol. This is CE15 bakuchiol firming oil, which I love because as a person with dry skin who also happens to have acne, it's really nice to have something that's doing that job and also, again, like picking up the slack on not over drying my skin. It's a lovely feeling product. I'll squirt a little bit out here, show you. Like that's what she looks like. I don't want to waste it. This stuff's really, really great. And as it spreads on the skin, I mean, you can tell where it is because it's a little bit yellow, but it's super anti-inflammatory. So it says it has 9 nutrient-rich oils, 10% vitamin C, 5% vitamin E, 1% bakuchiol, teprenone, and CoQ10. But what I always say about Allies of Skin is that like, I do not understand how their products work. I don't want to work with stuff like From the Ordinary because like I am not a chemist. I do not want to pile like an ingredient on each time. Like they all interact in ways that I don't understand. And so someone who is smarter than me has eliminated all of that thinking and put something into a product that works and it makes sense and it's in like the right proportions and everything. And that is why their products are so effective. That's why I swear by them. And then when things are a bit nuclear, I know SkinCeuticals has us by the throats, okay? But this is the Silymarin CF Salicylic Acid Acne Treatment High Potency Combination Antioxidant with 0.5% silymarin, 15% L-ascorbic acid, and 0.5% ferulic acid. Again, I don't know what any of that means, but it clears my skin. It's basically a salicylic acid. Yeah, it's got a salicylic acid, 0.5%, but other than that, it just is doing all of these really beautiful, elegant things to the skin, and your skin is so bright the next day. I do not use this 2 days in a row. Again, my skin is very sensitive to actives, and this has a little bit of like not a retinol effect, but it is so effective that like using it day on day would start to stress my skin out or make it purge unnecessarily. I'll start to get even like, you know, a little irritation in these pores right here. And it's like, why? Why do that when it's so expensive? I don't need to be overusing it anyway. It's wildly expensive. It's almost $200. But you need so little. I just do like that much in the dropper, you know, and it will get like my whole face and a little bit down my neck. And it has anti-aging effects too. Like you notice that your skin looks brighter and tighter in the morning, which is really lovely. Like your pores look refined. But anything that's going to accelerate cell turnover does have the ability to irritate your skin by overdoing it and making your skin purge, over drying it, whatever. So I'm very, very careful with this. But like I said, I could use this with the growth factor serum because the growth factor serum isn't doing anything like that. And also I always start with a layer of the Ultra Repair Cream from First Aid Beauty. That's like the first thing that touches my skin anytime I have just washed my face, because to me it's medicine. That colloidal oatmeal puts this barrier on my skin that protects it. So it's like adding Olaplex. I know that Olaplex is at Sephora. There's a lot of treatments that you can do for your hair with Olaplex, but Olaplex originated as an additive for hair bleach. As you know, a professional hairdresser, we were using Olaplex to diminish the negative effects that bleach can have on the hair while also lifting the hair. So it like protects the hair while the bleach is lifting it. That's what I feel like the Ultra Repair Cream does for me. It builds a barrier in between my skin and whatever's going on next. That's like this safety layer essentially that is protecting my skin from getting overwhelmed and getting perioral dermatitis. I buy that stuff by the tub because it's great on my kid's skin. Because, well, not on his lip. Like I have to be careful because it does have a little bit of eucalyptus in it. So if that skin is raw, it'll really hurt him. So I just use it like on his cheeks and stuff and on his body, and it keeps him from getting itchy while he's like sleeping and stuff. And it keeps me from getting itchy too. And I also take a Zyrtec. And now we're talking about how I keep from being itchy because the winter makes me really itchy. But Ultra Repair Cream, I have become such an evangelist for it since I accidentally put it on my face one night and noticed that my perioral dermatitis went away. I was just like, oh my God, it's been oatmeal the whole time. The only other thing I do is less. I don't wash my face in the morning. Like I wake up in the morning and I've had all that skincare on my face and everything. I just go ahead and put Ultra Repair Cream right on top, then sunscreen, call it a day. You know, do whatever I'm gonna do, makeup, whatever. But I don't wash my face in the morning. I saw this thing from Angela Caglia a while back on social media where she was like, I tell my clients not to wash their faces in the morning. Like your actives are not active anymore. They're not gonna make you sun sensitive. And there's no reason to just like disrupt your barrier unnecessarily for that. So if you can get away with it, she's like, just give it a try. And it's just healthier for like my microbiome and not stressing my skin out. It probably has something to do with pH. I have no idea, but I do less. I just do less, you know? Like do less washing, do less emulsifying, do less things that break down oils, because it's just like I need my skin's barrier intact as much as possible. That and a little bit of self-awareness so that I can stop picking my face. But I mean, you know, stopping is not really always realistic. It's about trying to make better habits. But I am also aware that like it's always going to be there as something that I am prone to doing. But hopefully making this video, I did think about this. I was like, not only not only might this be helpful for other people, but it will also make me feel more accountable. Because I will be watching myself on camera being like, take your own advice, Khaki. Take your own advice. Stop picking your face. So this face of makeup is the kind of thing that's going to keep me from picking throughout the day, because I'm gonna look in the mirror and I'm gonna be like, oh, that looks nice, you know, not see any invitations to go in and like examine closer. So that's it. That's all. I thought that that might be helpful for y'all. I mean, again, we're talking about very few products that each has a really specific purpose, just like paring it down to what is completely necessary in my routine. Some of it is expensive. I have some discount codes. I do have discount codes. I have discount codes for Current Body. I have discount codes for Allies of Skin, and I don't know if anyone has ever had a discount code. I can't talk today. I don't know if anyone has ever had a discount code to SkinCeuticals. Every once in a while they'll go on sale at Derm Store, but most of the time SkinCeuticals is just busy waiting for everybody to blink or turn their back so that they can raise their prices again. So thank you all for being here. If you found this helpful, please give the video a thumbs up. If you're new here, or if you just haven't subscribed yet, subscribe while you're here. It's a really fun, chill place to be, and we would love to have you. I will put a video up here that I think you'll enjoy if you liked this one. Thank you for watching. I love you so much, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye, y'all.